Hey, I'm Josh Pyman.
Hey everybody, my name is Lee Majdoub and you're watching The Permanent Rain Press.
I'm happy to be joined by Josh Pyman. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you going?
It's going well, just keeping busy. I'm sure you have been trying to ride this out the last few months. You've been back in Australia. What have you been up to?
Yeah. So I came back about, 2 months ago now. And I've just come back to stay with my family. And it's been really good. I've been working out a lot, even though the gyms are still closed. I think they open up next week though. I've been reading a lot and just spending quality time with the family that I haven't actually got to do in a long time. So that's been good.
When you are back home with your family, what are some activities you like to do together?
I play a lot of sports with my brother, so we usually go down to the basketball court and play basketball. And I usually just help my mum out around the house, and just spend quality time with her. And she she likes to take one of us to go grocery shopping and things like that. So I help her out with that as well.
Congratulations on your Leo Award nomination for Plantonic. Tell me a bit about the story and your character, Rain.
Yes, thank you for that. So the story is basically a love story, and my character, he's this lonely kind of introverted, struggling musician, and he buys this kind of plant kit. It's all a big metaphor. So he buys this kit, which allows him to plant a seed in the ground, this little pot, and out of it grows a significant other. And basically, the whole story is how he kind of manages that relationship with this plant man and also his career at the same time.
You will star opposite Kenny Brain,
Mhm.
who plays Pine in the film,
Fine, yeah.
and you're both relatively new actors. So, what was it like working opposite each other in this intimate story, and then with your director, Crit?
Um, Kenny was great to work with. I think this was Kenny's, well, actually, it was mine too, but Kenny had never done any acting before. And the reason that the film kind of jumped out at him when I spoke to him was he had kind of experienced the same things before. So really acting with him, there was no barrier between us. It was simply him just reliving kind of what he had experienced, and me too. So it was really great, and Crit gave us a lot of space to explore the characters, and it was really a great experience. And I did screen test with some other actors, and they ended up choosing myself and Kenny, but because I guess that felt the most real to them. Yeah.
We can't wait to see the short film when it gets like a wider release. I know it's been doing some screenings here and there, but just that LGBTQ representation and narrative is so important in the industry and in Canadian film. What initially drew you to the project when you read the script for the first time?
Well, I definitely kind of I was auditioning for a lot of things, and this one came up, and it was in a stage where I was pretty busy with a lot of auditions, and so I was throwing down a lot of tapes and really putting in some good work. I felt good about everything, but what really drew me to it was just the fact that it was kind of you know a story that speaks to a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what your orientation is, your sexual orientation. I think everybody can get something out of this story, and I think the imagery also of the story. Like, I think there's only two dialogue scenes in the entire film, and the rest of it is just beautiful imagery and beautiful cinematography. And I could see that on the page, and I just thought, this is kind of a beautiful story that I would love to be a part of.
And you can next be seen in Netflix's Tiny Pretty Things. It's out this fall, I believe in September. So tell me a bit about this show and who you'll be playing.
Yeah, well, I can't speak too much on that, obviously, but basically the show takes us into the world of an elite ballet academy in Chicago, and it follows the stories of many of the dancers, many of the supporting casts, and how they navigate through this very crazy world, and how they also deal with their own issues. And these are issues that aren't just limited to ballet school and that world. It's also world issues that everybody faces. And my character, I play Dev. He's a young professional who kind of has his morals tested a little bit. He has to decide on whether he wants to prioritize his relationship or this extremely well-paying, high-profile professional job. And that's kind of where his storyline goes.
You filmed it in Toronto last year. So what was it like filming in that city? And I know you were hanging out with the cast a lot.
Oh, well, I had always wanted to visit Toronto. I sort of have grown up listening to music that comes out of the area, and um, I was very excited to go there and explore the city because I'd heard so many great things about it. And you know, it's such a vibrant and fun and multicultural city. You had the people from all walks of life there, and it was pretty cold though, I must admit. But you know, the cast are just an amazing bunch of people. I have made some lifelong friends in that cast. You know, I it was my first kind of experience on a large scale production, playing a recurring character. So it was a really kind of a pinch me moment every day on set with these people. And I have so much respect for all of my castmates who were not only acting every single day, but they were dancing and rehearsing every single day. And they put their bodies through a lot. So yeah, hats off to them. But it was such a dream come true, honestly.
Hopefully, when the premiere happens, if you're not in person, you can do something virtually. I'm sure people would love to see a virtual premiere, something like that. We have our signature question for you. If you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Any ice cream flavor? I'd have to go with chocolate. I'm not, that's probably the most common answer you get, but I just enjoy chocolate so much, and I've grown up eating chocolate, and um, you know, I think that's the best flavor, to be honest.
Hi, Lee. How's it going today?
Doing well. How are you, Chloe?
I'm doing okay as best I can be. I know we were
Yeah.
just talking. It's been a crazy past few months. So, A, how are you doing? And B, what have you been keeping busy with?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay for the most part. The first few weeks of quarantining and staying indoors was a little bit weird to get used to. I was trying to figure out, like, you know, how do I keep my workouts going? How do I do all that stuff that I had a routine outdoors with? But about a month and a half in, I think I started to figure out things, and it's been nice to kind of spend some me time. If that makes sense. My anxiety attacks are a little bit less and stuff. And just the way I've been staying busy, I've been staying engaged with social media and staying engaged with fans. I started doing some Twitch streams. I learned how to do that. That was something I was interested in, and then someone suggested it. So I've been playing video games weekly or twice a week and chatting with fans. And we talk a lot about mental health and how everybody's doing, and how they're holding up with what's going on in the world. And we laugh and we joke, and it's ups and downs. We have like emotional moments and real talk, and then joking around. It's been great. My cat's in the background going crazy. If you hear any of that like craziness, it's my cat.
You've been spending some time with your cat as well, just like kind of cuddling, hanging out, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. I've got two cats, Cinema and Jack, and they've been helping me chill out,
Yeah.
breathe. We've been spending some quality time together. They can be wild though.
What's great about Twitch, as you're mentioning, interacting with fans, I know you've been also doing some fundraising on there as well. What can you share about that?
I've done a few fundraisers. The most recent was for NQTTCN, which is the National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network. And basically their focus is to give opportunities to the LGBTQ plus communities of color to either get, I think, education within the mental health industry or get more access to mental health programs. So they've been fantastic, really, really great people. And then we've done a few which we're helping with COVID relief earlier on. And then I was involved with, or I am involved with a not-for-profit called Lollipop Network. And basically what they do is they bring movies that are in the theaters, they bring them to children's hospitals, to the kids that can't get out of the hospital. So I was in LA before COVID happened, and we had like 5 or 6 hospital visits and stuff. So it's been really great to be involved with different organizations and stuff, trying to bring light to different things.
Yeah, and something you're clearly very passionate about. Now, I do have to congratulate you on your Leo Award nomination for You, Me, Her this year. What is your favorite part about playing Nathan?
Oh man, Nathan was fun to play. He was, I don't know, there's something pure about Nathan, just in wanting to find love within his life. He had a bad marriage and he was cheated on, and I think he kind of becomes a shell of himself and doesn't know who he is anymore, and is trying to kind of like reinvent himself. And then I think he finds himself a little bit. But yeah, it was nice to play a guy that was just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And Priscilla Faya was unbelievable to work with. I got to work with her a lot, and she's such a pro, and we were able to figure things out and work together really well.
Now, you do return in season 5. I believe it's up for streaming in Canada now, not out everywhere yet, but why should viewers tune into this final season?
It ties it all up really nicely for the Trekarskys, and there's different couples that you've come to, or different characters even that you've come to love, who they tie up their storylines really nicely. You know what I mean? So I think it's really nice that they got a final season. They knew it was the final season, and they could kind of tie up all the storylines.
You're nominated against your friend, Richard Harmon.
Yep.
We spoke with him last week. He told us to ask you, do you think you got a shot against him?
Ooh, man, that's a very Richard Harmon question. I think you better watch your back, Rick. I'm coming for you.
After this, you can text him. Can't believe you asked that question to me.
Yeah. I'm going to text him. You know what? I'm going to text him right now while we're doing this interview.
Okay. That's a pretty big question there. But, both of you guys have been in the industry for a while, so it's so nice to see that recognition. Now, about the show that you co-star in, The 100, also on its final season, you've returned as Nelson. You were in last season and this one. So, what's upcoming down this final stretch?
Wow. So I think, how many episodes have aired? I think 4 episodes have aired so far. We've come to see the situation that's going on in Sanctum with the Children of Gabriel, the Allegius prisoners. You've got Wong Crew, and then you've got the True Believers. So it's it is getting heated. There's a lot of conflict that's arising. With regards to Nelson and the Children of Gabriel, all I can really say is that what's great about this season is you come to learn a lot more about the children of Gabriel. You learn about Nelson, and pretty much what I can say. It's like you want to. I'm trying to give you information without spoilers. He's just trying to find his people a home. You know what I mean? They come from Sanctum and they were cast out when they were children for not having the right bloodline, or for being told that they don't belong. So they've had a very, very hard life. And in a sense, Gabriel is off doing his own thing. So now Nelson has had to kind of take a leadership position, and and is just doing the best that he can. And I think throughout the season, you realize that he gets put into situations, whether he does the right thing or wrong thing, I'm not going to say, but it's all in trying to do the right thing for his people. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of parallels with what's going on in the world right now. So it's interesting that this season is coming out when it is. And but yeah, it was amazing to play Nelson and have that type of storyline written. I get to work with Richard. I mean,
I was gonna say a lot of your friends are on this show, so did it ever feel like work coming into set?
It never felt like work in the sense of coming into set and engaging with my friends. You know what I mean? It did always feel like work in the sense of, the priority is doing a good job. You got to come ready to work and have your lines memorized and know what you're going to do. And if you have any questions, be ready to ask them so you can get ready to go. So, I mean, the priority was always for us. We would run lines, we'd figure stuff out. Sorry for that noise if you can hear it. But we did have fun too. I think that was what was so great about that set was everybody's such a pro. So there's a nice balance of keeping it loose between takes, staying fresh, nobody taking it too seriously in the sense of like being hard on themselves. You know what I mean? Because we can tend to do that. I've done that in the past too, beating myself up. So having a good core group of people around you is pretty awesome.
And Sonic 2 was recently announced. Well, we can only hope for a return from Agent Stone. What more would you like to see from this character?
Oh man. So I don't know anything about the sequel yet. I don't think we've locked in a script or anything. So I don't know if Stone's coming back. But if he does come back, hopefully, everybody fingers crossed, I'd like to see him. I don't know. I've said this a few times, like on my stream and stuff. I'd like to see a moment, whether this is realistic or not. I'd like to see a moment of what makes him an agent. I want to see him proficient with either like hand-to-hand combat or whatever it is. And if Robotnik comes back, I want to see this moment where Stone saves Robotnik, and it's kind of like, the classic damsel in distress kind of scene, and he scoops Robotnik up and he runs off with him, and there's explosions in the background, and then he puts Robotnik down, and Robotnik tells him he didn't need his help anyways. Something like that.
That'd be a moment. I can see it. Yeah, like
yeah, or makes Stone like slap himself in the face and be like, I didn't need your help.
That coffee scene, the dancing coffee scene, that's got like so many views on YouTube. Have you seen that?
I love the fans. I never expected Agent Stone to be such a fan favorite, and it speaks volumes to the crew, the director, the producers, Jim Carrey. I mean, when I first came to set, Agent Stone wasn't really a character that would pop, you know what I mean, on the page. And through getting to know Jim and talking with Jim and talking with Jeff, we started to develop this relationship. We started to improvise and come up with some things. And, then the producers and the writers were like, we never imagined that this was going to be the relationship between Robotnik and Stone. So I feel really blessed that I had that opportunity, and Jim is unbelievable to work with. He's such a pro and so generous and gracious.
Hopefully more to come.
I hope so.
So we have our wild card question for you. Calvin Klein is creating a new cologne, the Lee. describe your signature scent.
Signature scent would be like a citrus, like a minty citrus scent. Fresh.